be mindful as well to not overload yourself with too many ideas at once. So this is a real theme this week. Do not overload your brain, right? Too many commitments, too many things you're thinking about. Close some tabs. Welcome to the Story of Spirit podcast, where practical spirituality meets real life. Hi, I'm your host, Sheetal Story. I'm a psychic medium, grief support counselor, professional astrologer, and a human design reader, and of course, a law of attraction master coach. With my unique blend of spiritual and practical tools, I am here to help you align with your soul-led purpose and ignite a life that sets your soul on fire. In this podcast, we are going to explore the principles of energy, astrology, spirituality, and psychology to help you heal your grief and create an aligned life and business from the inside out. Whether you are looking to deepen your intuition, understand your cosmic design, or transform your business, this podcast is for you. Join me each week for insightful discussions, practical tips, and inspiring stories that will guide you on your journey to living your very best life. Don't forget to subscribe and follow us on Instagram at Sheetal Story or wherever you listen to this podcast. Let's dive in and start this transformative journey together. Welcome to the Story of Spirit podcast. Welcome to the Astro Forecast for the week of February 3rd to the 9th. The energy is starting to pick up speed, but we still have Mars retrograde, meaning Mars being the planet of motivation, desire, our egoic will to move forward, passion, still retrograde in Cancer, very watery, very feely sign. But there are other planets that are bringing fire this week. So you might start to feel like you want to moving forward, you want to get going, but there could be still like starts and stops or issues with forward momentum, and that's okay. Right? We're still in a bit of a topsy-turvy world. And to add things, a little bit more spice to the mix is your brain is firing on all cylinders because of some aspects that are happening in the sky right now. So let's get to it. We start out the week on Monday, February 3rd with a first quarter moon phase in Aries. This is that fiery energy of the moon. And this is like a flavor that's going to kind of spread throughout the week. So I always like to talk about with the phase of the moon because that phase is going to bring energy and kind of give us a theme for the week. And then the phase of the moon on the first day of the week also kind of gives this sort of energy for the whole week, if you will. So there's this kind of wanting to start things, feeling this Aries energy. Aries is the first sign of the zodiac, which is about initiation. It's courage, braveness, pioneering, bold. You're first out of the gate, right? It's can be leadership, but turned up too loud, it is very impulsive, right? It sort of blurts things out. It does things without thinking about it and later going, oh my God, why did I do that, right? So we're wanting to guard against impulsivity this week, and we're really wanting to be discerning with our actions. Also dropping out of the heart into the body, into your intuition as well, and feeling what's happening there, because the mind can be very, very active right now. So give your mind a little bit of a break this week. Meditation will be really good for you if you can do it. And meditation is a training of the brain to just kind of sit back and notice the thoughts, not stop the thoughts, just notice the thoughts. So on Monday, February 3rd, Mercury is trine to Jupiter. This is, again, huge for the brain, huge for our thinking. Mercury is our thought communication, the way we connect with each other, our coordination as well. And anything that is with the communication world as well, your thought processing. So this harmonious alignment between Mercury and Jupiter is the planet of expansion, optimism, good luck, creates a perfect atmosphere for brainstorming, for learning, for sharing ideas. Communication flows easily and conversations are likely to inspire optimism and open-mindedness. So this is a really wonderful energy for the brain, right? To kind of come up with new ideas, get a lot of thinking work done. Jupiter also rules the law. So if you're doing anything with paperwork or, filling out contracts, things like that, it's going to help you with it as well. It's a great day to revisit past ideas or plans that need fresh insight or innovation. And you may feel compelled to connect with others through writing, teaching, networking. And you might be mindful as well to not overload yourself with too many ideas at once. So, this is a real theme this week. Do not overload your brain, right? Too many commitments, too many things you're thinking about. Close some tabs, you know what I mean? Like, close some social media and just be focused on one thing. On Tuesday, February 4th, we have Venus moving into Aries. So Venus was in Pisces, which is very feeling, empathetic, one love, spiritual, creativity. It's a water sign. And now it's moving into a fire sign of passion, desire. It wants to get things going. It wants to initiate, right? It's feeling very sexy in this sign. So this is the energy coming in to bring back some of the life into the collective. And this is very exciting for relationships and for personal pursuits. This energy encourages you to take the lead in matters of love, creativity, and self expression. You may feel more confident and willing to pursue what excites you without hesitation. And while this transit inspires passion, it can also spark impatience and impulsivity. Remember, those were Aries turned up too loud. So use this energy to reignite your sense of adventure, take bold steps towards your desires. But in terms of like thinking about them and really thinking about, do you have the foundations to go after what you desire, right? What is it that you desire? Why do you desire it? Because remember, Mars is still in Cancer. It's in the foundations of why you want what you want. And you can use that energy to really help you. All right, on Tuesday as well, Tuesday's a busy day, Jupiter goes direct. So Jupiter has been retrograde, meaning it's going slower than the Earth in its trajectory around the sun since October 9th, 2024. So it goes retrograde for quite some time. And now is sitting on the exact degree on Gemini. So a direct doesn't mean everything's going forward now. It actually means it's going to take a little bit of time to start to speed up. So it's now a time to really watch what you're getting excited about, right? In Gemini, it's like ideas, communication, community, saying yes to things that are like you wanting to connect with others, and saying yes to invitations to events and things, and really getting deep into like the why that you're saying yes. And are you saying yes from a place of your intuition or from a place of your head? Right. And if you're excited about something, it's not the time actually to say yes. It's the time to really neutral yes, right? Depending on where you feel your intuition in your body and how you feel your intuition based on human design. If you're like me, an emotional manifesting generator or an emotional motor center, you can feel very excited about a lot of things. I'm excited about a lot of things, right? Everything is an hell yes to me. And until I sit with like, okay, how much time is this taking up in my calendar? How much money is this taking out of my bank account? How much energy is this taking up of me? And when I start to look at all those answers, now things are not always a yes. So paying attention to what feels like a yes in a neutral state, right? Does it still feel like a yes in terms of it checks all the boxes? It fills many of my buckets. You know, maybe it's my development bucket, my connection bucket, and my exciting bucket because I like to do things that are very spiritual or self-development or new or, you know, with people that I love connection and community. So if it fills multiple buckets and it still feels good on my calendar, my energy, it gives me life versus takes from my life, then it's a yes. But it has to be a neutral yes. Lessons that I have learned over the last 3 years going deep into human design. So something to support you, you know, on your life. On Friday, February 7th, we have the sun in conjunct to Mars retrograde. So the sun is our vitality, our energy. It's in Aquarius right now, which is an air sign. So it's very cerebral and thinking things through and wanting to do well and wanting everyone to come up together, which we really need in this time. And Mars retrograde in Cancer is, you know, it's not really for momentum. It's this time is about getting deep into your why and your foundations. And are you happy with, you know, in terms of the way you were as a child? Have you brought back all those parts of you? Very feely place to be. So an inconjunct is a 150-degree angle, meaning you need to adjust some things for it to happen, for it to get along well. So they don't not work, but they don't really work together. You have to sort of do something for these two things to get together. So what this means is there's a tension between your desire for independence and emotional sensitivity. So you want to do the thing, but then you're feeling quite, it's a very emotional, frustrating place for this energy. So as we move through Thursday, Friday, Saturday, we're going to feel a little frustrated. Again, your forward momentum with all that, Aries energy coming in from Venus, you're not going to get what you want just yet. This is about planning. What do you want? What's really holding you back energetically, emotionally, and mentally? Right. And physically too. Maybe there's something physically holding you back from the thing that you want. And so where then can you remove blocks on all those four places to help you really move forward? So you may feel torn between focusing on your personal goals or tending to family and home related matters. This energy can feel frustrating as it's difficult to find balance that satisfies both areas. So the key is to honor your needs for both autonomy and emotional connection without overextending yourself. Remember, there's that overextending yourself. Take a step back to assess where you need to create more harmony in your life. So I feel this a lot as a working mom. When I get momentum going in my business, I'm really excited about something, and then a kid gets sick, or all of a sudden we get dropped a big project in our lap, or all of a sudden we're going on a trip for somebody's insert team, project, band, whatever it is, right? So we're just like, oh, okay. Everything else has to then be put on hold because my soul chose to be a mother first. And so everything must organize around my motherhood because it has to. These kids need me, right? And I think even if they were older, I mean, I have teenagers now, but even as they're older, if they're younger, there's a whole other ball game. I've had friends where their children were grown adults were in the hospital and they had to like drop everything and go to that city to be there for their child that was really on death's door. I mean, that's what we do as parents. So if that is something, not even just if you have children, it could be parents that are aging. It could be a pet that needs you now, like there's other things in life that need you and pull you off your course when you feel like you're getting momentum. And I like to think of these things as the universe right timing you. So this is a right timing aspect where you feel like, oh my God, why can't I just make this happen? Because it's not the right time yet. It's going to come together. Just keep holding that vision and then put a pause on that. Go tend to the thing that needs to happen until that's ready to go, and then come back and then press play again and see where you go. Have you lost momentum? Yeah, a little bit, but it's the right momentum now, right? It's just trusting it's always the right momentum now. And then also on Friday, it's a busy day Friday, we have Venus sextile to Pluto. So this is going to add a little bit more spice because we're feeling like we can't move ahead, but then we're feeling really excited about the thing that we want, right? This is an excitement. Venus in Aries is the values and things that we desire, relationships, money, beauty, aesthetic is all Venus. In Aries, we want to go. Right? We want to do the thing. And then Pluto is death, rebirth, and transformation in Aquarius. So this energy coming together is inviting deeper connections and relationships and creative pursuits. Venus in Aries adds boldness, while Pluto in Aquarius encourages transformative change and innovation. So you may feel inspired to pursue your passions with confidence or to strengthen bonds with others by addressing underlying truths. So this can be a really great time to have a deeper conversation about like what's happening underneath our relationship. And, I've noticed this thing isn't really going well, or I noticed that when this happens, I feel like this, what do you think about this? And having these open, vulnerable conversations, but with this Mars retrograde energy, it's not a time where you might find resolution. It just might be a time that you guys are coming together, but this can be more connection because of this aspect with Venus and Pluto. So you're inspired to pursue your passions with confidence, to strengthen bonds with others by addressing these underlying truths. And this energy can reveal hidden desires and power dynamics, empowering you to align more authentically with your values. So you notice people's motivation. So even if you have this conversation and they're like, I don't care about your feelings, or, you're always such a baby. You're like, thank you for showing me who you are. I appreciate you, and I will never call you again. Like, you just have to know that people are always showing you who they are. Are you trusting that? Or are you trying to make a story because that makes you feel better about the way that you value yourself, right? And this Venus in Aries is about self-value, self-worth. You value yourself. This is going to help you with confidence so that you're no longer aligning with people pleasing. Friday, February 7th as well, we have Mercury in conjunct to Mars. And we just talked about in conjunct being this need for adjustment between these two. So Mercury is the mind, which is very intense in Aquarius. And then we've got Mars in Cancer, which is very feeling and just wants to like find its place where it feels purposeful. So this class between rational mind and the emotional heart is going to make inner tension and miscommunication a possibility on this day as well. So you might struggle to express your emotions clearly or feel at odds with the actions you need to take. This aspect asks you to integrate head and heart, finding ways to express your needs while respecting the emotions of others. So delays or frustrations in communications are very possible today, but they offer an opportunity for growth. Focus on clear, compassionate dialogue and avoid misunderstandings. Now, sometimes people, when they're triggered, just will not be able to hear you. So this is about picking the right time. If now is not the time and people can't hear you, don't try harder. This is going to be, let's table this and come back to this next week, right? Not tomorrow, because this energy is still going to be an aspect. So come back, in a week and talk about it again. But you can, with this Venus to Pluto, get to the depths of some things. Good for research, good for getting to the heart of matters, but you might not find resolution. That's what this energy is saying. It's not a time to get resolution. You're going to feel frustrated, like you might not feel like you're heard even, and that's okay. You're just noticing where you feel heard and where you don't. And then to add a little bit more to the mix, on Sunday, February 9th, we have the Sun conjunct to Pluto. So when the Sun and Pluto come together, they call it sort of cazimi, meaning in the heart of the Sun, and they're sitting on the same degree in Aquarius. So when they're sitting on the same degree of Aquarius, the Sun and Mercury come together. There's illuminates your thoughts and communication with clarity and innovation, because it's an Aquarius. So Aquarius is an air sign. We want to be forward thinking. We're, outside the box ideas come up, and we're feeling very connected to humanity. Like, this is the Sun, right? Our vitality, our identity. And so we're feeling this kind of need, and we might feel, especially with the current political climate, that there is a lot of people in the world that are hurting, and you would be correct. You'd be correct in knowing that. There is a lot of people that need support right now, and let that be your fire, right? But Aquarius turned up too loud is righteousness. It's idealization, right? This is what we should be doing. I can't believe no one sees that climate change is real, and the judgment that can come down on others, and we can create division. So we don't want that. We want to come together. And in order to come together, we have to understand everybody's points of view and where people are motivated and where they're not motivated, right? If you were in an industry that benefits from the climate not doing well, inadvertently, of course, right? Like if you think about, I'm going to say the advent of electric cars. Electric cars are, kind of supposed to be the sign of the future. But in electric cars, there is a lot of minerals that are needing to be mined. And where do those mines come in? They come from the earth. So we're having to rip up the earth and really get all these minerals out to create these batteries and to create these cars that are also a lot heavier. And our electrical grid is not there yet to support everyone on electrical cars. So there's going to be this transition at some point, but is electrical cars really the way of the future? Like, especially because it takes up so much energy to run them, and gasoline also not good for the environment, and all these cars, pollution and all the things. Have we found the solution? I think we're just trying to find a lesser pollutant, in the world, and people are trying to do their best. And, the government is moving towards electrical cars, but is it actually helping things? And I think there's new technology going to come out that's going to maybe make electrical cars lighter. Maybe these batteries don't need as much electricity. How do we now improve the energy grid, and where does energy, all of that generator, it's so interesting. It's like a cascade when you look back on it. So this Mercury and Sun together is going to bring about more innovation, more ideas, more technological things to come about. And I think, I think my mom used to say technology or ingenuity is the mother of invention, or something like that, where it's like when you need something, it comes about because of the need of it. And I think you can see the pressure is building in this planet for new technology to come up to help with climate change, to help with scarcity, to help everybody have, a standard of living that feels like kind, to everybody. So that's very Aquarian. So this powerful day is a powerful day Sunday, and it also going to bleed over Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, for brainstorming, problem solving, expressing unique ideas. You feel inspired to share your vision for the future, to connect with others who share your ideals. This is also about finding your tribe, or your group of people that feel like they get you. Conversations are likely to be engaging, thought-provoking, focused on solutions. Use this energy to tackle challenges with creativity, with an open mind. Now, the shadow aspect is being rigid and being idealistic and righteous, right? That's like, if these people aren't with us, they're against us, down with them. Like, we don't need more of that in the world. You know what I mean? So really bring heart into this and understand everybody's trying their best. They have their own ideas of why they're where they are, and how can we now bring more collaboration and community and understanding versus us versus them. That's not going to be the way of the future. We can't. Otherwise, then the world will end. The world will end in war, and we don't want that, right? So Sunday, February 9th, the last aspect of the week, we have Mars trine to Saturn. This is a really wonderful aspect to support us in terms of creating practical, steady progress. Encouraging action through emotional alignment, while Saturn in Pisces offers discipline to manifest your dreams. So while Mars is still retrograde, this energy favors revisiting past projects for commitments that require a nurturing touch. So it's an excellent time to establish emotional boundaries or focus on long-term goals with patience and persistence. This is Saturn and Mars. Persistence and patience. Trust in slow, steady progress for growth. So if you feel like you're not moving ahead, I really want you to think back to November and now and see that even though it was a little bit, it's still a little bit. It's still a little bit, right? We want to focus on the gain versus the gap, right? Not how far we have to go, but how far we've come. This is going to be really important for this and to set you up for success for the coming week as well. So focus on the gain, not the gap. This is going to be a very cerebral week. You're going to be thinking a lot. You got lots of ideas. Your brain is firing on all cylinders. And we want to just give it a little bit of a rest, right? Dropping into the body, working out that energy, going to the gym or doing something vigorous, and drop out of the thinking mind into the body, because there's a lot of thinking this week. You can see that, right? So wishing you a wonderful week. There's going to be fire coming back, using this fire in the best of ways and giving your brain a little break in there as well. And I will see you next week. Thanks for being here. Bye. Thank you for joining me on this episode of the Story of Spirit podcast. I hope you have found inspiration, support, and practical insights to help you align with your soul-led purpose and live a life that sets your soul on fire. If you have enjoyed today's episode, please subscribe to the podcast, leave a review, and share it with a friend. Your support helps us to reach more listeners and continues to provide valuable content. I sincerely appreciate every share, and I know it is how most people find me. It is because caring people like you have shared me with them at the right and perfect time. For more resources, insights, and to connect with our community, please visit us at www.shetellstory.com and follow us on Instagram at shetellstory. Remember, your journey to a more aligned and vibrant life is just the beginning, and I am here to support you every step of the way. Until next time, stay aligned, stay inspired, and keep shining your beautiful light. This is She Tells Story, signing off from the Story of Spirit podcast. Here's the legal ease that's required by our lawyers. This podcast and the YouTube channel represents the opinions of She Tells Story and her guests to the show. The content should not be taken as medical, psychological, or financial advice. This series is informational and entertainment purposes only. Because each person is so unique, please consult your healthcare professional, your mental health dream team, your financial advisor, or anyone else that's an expert in the field in where you are thinking of making big choices in your life.